welcome back to the Tea and a Buddy podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be talking about birthday traditions in the UK versus the USA.
Yeah.
And we've talked a little bit about this before in podcasts before.
I don't know, have we?
I think we have. We've touched on, the points we're going to make in this.
I don't know. I mean, maybe just in passing, but it kind of surprises me that I don't think we actually have, specifically talked about this topic. And we're going to be focusing more on, the way children's birthdays are celebrated.
Yeah,
right?
because adults, it's the same kind of thing, it's same all over the world. They meet up for drinks, or, they go out to dinner, and...
Or someone makes a birthday dinner.
dinner.
Tomorrow is Dominic's birthday, by the way.
Yes.
Yay!
I'm
Happy
aging
birthday!
up instead of aging down. And, it's my birthday tomorrow, so it's, this is going out on Tuesday, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
And birthday dinner, you're going to be slaving away in the kitchen.
Slaving away.
I've ordered a 5-course.
He wants chicken tikka masala with rice and chips.
Rice and chips is the Welsh way, isn't it? And Welsh listeners will back me up on this.
You just have to,
half and half.
Load up on the carbs.
Load up on the carbs, yes.
And then a Biscoff
it's carbs
cheesecake.
on carbs. It's
I'm going to have to get started tonight, I think. I don't know. Be like my grandma and just start days in advance.
Get started tonight.
Everything.
Slow cook everything.
Get
your favorite
slowly.
spoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, as a birthday dinner is make me my favorite thing. Whether it be, lasagna, which was my other option.
Yeah.
I think that's only the two options I kind of come up with every year, isn't it? It's lasagna or chicken tikka masala.
It's kind of the same old, really.
Yes, you can't go wrong with either of those, Indian or Italian.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult for me to come up with anything because I like too many things. Yeah. So I'm always just what shall I have? Yeah. But anyway,
I like to do the unexpected.
So let's talk about how your birthdays were when you were a child.
Or when I was a child, I'd have the regular kind of party. The first one I vividly remember was my McDonald's birthday party.
Yeah.
And I think my mother or my father, I think it was my mother, actually recorded it. And it's on a VHS somewhere,
But that is very, that was just of your age group, because that happened over here as well.
Yeah.
That was very popular.
McDonald's decided, we'll host kids' birthday parties. And
they used to give, did you have the little tiny ice cream cones at the end? They'd give everybody, a complimentary little soft serve ice cream cone.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
And they were tiny. They were only about, I don't know... I'm holding up my fingers right now.
Yeah, they were very tiny.
How many inches is that?
They still are quite tiny to me.
No, they were special tiny little cones. Does anybody remember that? They were
I don't remember.
They were tiny little cones. They were about that. They were about that tall, and then the ice cream was on top. They were just little.
No, I don't remember those. I don't think
you didn't have to pay for it. It was just that was just.
Well, no,
they just threw that in.
I remember. It was in Torquay, and it was in the upstairs bit of McDonald's, and that McDonald's is still there, because a lot of McDonald's close over time and stuff. But that McDonald's, that specific one, is still in operation.
McDonald's close? I don't know about this.
Oh, yeah, in the town where I lived in Wales, they had one out where we've been to, in the Trostra development. Mm. And then they had one in town. Yeah. And that one... They opened that one and then it closed.
Unheard of.
Yeah, unheard of. And they closed the McDonald's.
Oh,
up the road from here. Yeah.
It was attached to a gas station.
Yeah, there you go, see? The franchise just we'll just get out of there. Yeah. But that one's still, going, the longevity of it, because it's been going for 30 odd years now. Mm. And, it was upstairs, and I had 4 or 5 of my friends from school. I only remember 2 of them, who were friends, and the others were just kind of people I'd invited.
Yeah, from your class
From
or
my
something.
class, yeah. I vaguely remember having to invite them too. It's like, oh, go and invite them because we'll have you... It was my 5th, I think, my 5th birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
And it was very much invite them because we're going to have this at McDonald's and we're going to do that. And, you like McDonald's? I was like, yeah, I do. I suppose I like a burger and chips.
I never really got to have, birthday parties where I had friends over. My birthday was during the summer, so it was, kind of difficult. I would have had to have known where my friends lived, all their addresses, and go, send out invitations and stuff. It's much easier during the school year, I think. Because you just hand them to them in class, hand invitations, oh, my birthday is this weekend, or whatever. But mine was dead in the middle of summer, and so it was just everybody's on summer vacation, no.
Yeah.
You're just gonna have family. And I always had enough family anyway. There were always plenty of kids around, and I remember sometimes thinking, I wanted to do that classic thing of, have a slumber party. I want to have my friends over and have a slumber party. Is that popular in Britain too? Sleepovers?
I guess. I don't really remember.
Yeah.
Really, I don't remember having one when I was a kid. I just remember the McDonald's one, and then the next year it was kind of like a subdued affair. I think my parents took me to see Fireman Sam, the stage show. Yeah. Which was playing... because Fireman Sam was this kid's show that was very popular in the UK back then. And then I just had kind of a subdued birthday cake back at home, It was just cake and candles and stuff, and that was it, Yeah. That was my 6th. My 7th, we were up in Arran then, so it was just kind of I don't remember what happened. If we had a party or whatever, maybe we did, I don't know. Yeah. I can't remember now. So long ago, because I'm 100 this next birthday, so...
Oh my gosh.
But, at parties and stuff like that, I remember, when I'd attend other kids' parties, it would be usually the same stuff that I'd had, It would be jelly and ice cream, pass the parcel, and, just playing, games, all day. But I don't remember this tradition of the birthday bumps either. Oh yeah. I knew people who'd had it done to them, but I don't think I've ever seen it done. Maybe I have. It's
you'll have to explain what birthday bumps are now.
It's the friends would hold the child or the person, because it goes into adulthood. Yeah. By the legs and under the arms, and lift them up, bumping them gently on the ground. The number of bumps given is the age of the child. So if you were 15, you get 15 bumps. Yeah. 21 bumps.
I seem to think that we've seen that in some British show or movie or something. It looks familiar in my mind when you describe it is. It seems everybody going 1, 2, 3, and throwing the person up in the air. It seems very like it would hurt.
I don't think I've ever had it done to me. No, I don't think I did. So yeah. But I'd seen other people.
That's the equivalent over here. We have birthday spankings.
Yes, which sounds even worse. It sounds like it'd be very painful. It's and punches.
I don't know about the punches, but the birthday spankings, it's just where in God's name did this tradition come from, and why? Why is that a thing? And they do however many years you are. I don't know if it's the same with the birthday bumps, but however many years you are is how many spankings you get. Yeah. And then +1 to grow on.
Oh, the bumps get 1 + 1 for good luck.
Yeah, it's just why? Yeah. Who invented these things? Oh, it's someone's birthday, let's torture them,
Nowadays with health and safety and stuff like that going mental, as they say, clapping is done instead of bumping. They just clap, Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and you think, oh no, something's gonna happen. It's they're gonna reach 21 and everything's gonna explode, Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, it was always more of, like, the threat of the birthday spankings. Like, I don't remember actually ever. And, of course, it's not, like, a real spanking, you know? It's just, like...
In your case, it would have been.
You just kind of go, whap, whap. It's not, like... I don't know. I never had them. It was always like, oh...
Whap!
It was always just
whap.
like, oh, time for the birthday spankings. You'd be like, no! You know, and, like, run away and stuff.
Yes, and I mean, if you hid from them, they get extra ones. That's the one, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, birthday parties, I did presume they were very kind of, the traditions and stuff and customs are very similar to over here, because it's kind of like...
No, I mean, the cake and jelly, no.
Jelly, it's jelly and ice cream, actually. We don't have the cake with the jelly. What are you talking about?
Nobody has, you know, Jell-O at a birthday party is definitely not a traditional thing over here.
Oh, what?
I mean, you know, you've been to kids' birthdays parties over here, but it's
not
just...
Not too many of them.
Not too many, but it seems like maybe it possibly
jelly
could have
and
been
ice
a
cream
thing.
Together, it's the best thing. Best thing for a sore throat, too.
It's not that bad, you guys. He made me have it one time. One time when... Yeah, I remember we went to the store and we bought some of that Hartley's raspberry...
Oh, did I make
Jell-O.
you have jelly and ice cream? Yeah.
Yes.
Because you were going on about it.
And we ate it together. It's weird, but it kind of works.
Well, it's like that thing that we were looking at, you know, like where they made high schoolers taste like biscuits and gravy and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were just like, oh, it looks weird, but actually it's pretty good.
It seems like it possibly could have been a thing that, like, a mom might have served at a birthday party in, like, the 50s. I can see, like, a Jell-O mold, like, in the shape of a, you know, whatever. And
I used to love it. I used to love jelly when I was a kid because, you know, it's like it comes out of the mold and it's, like, molded to, like... I remember having a Thomas the Tank jelly for my birthday.
That's very, like... extravagant. That's very, like, detailed.
It was like a Thomas the Tank mold.
Yeah.
And it looked like Thomas the Tank, and I was like, oh, this is great, you know, this is so fantastic, and I cut a bit of it with the ice cream and everything, you know. I remember not wanting to eat it because it looked so good.
Yeah.
It was like raspberry jelly or something, you know. Usually strawberry or raspberry, you know, they do with it.
I was always under the misconception, though, as far as the cake, that you guys have always done, like, fondant. You don't have any of the...
Usually it was fondant, yeah.
Fondant icing, ugh.
Yeah.
You don't have any of, like, just buttercream kind of frosting. Actually, you know what was really popular for a while when I was a kid over here? Let me know if any of you guys listening, if it's the same for you. The whipped cream icing really became popular.
Yeah.
And I just never liked that
frosting.
One as much. Oh my god, every birthday party you went to for, like, a certain period of years... Everybody had that because it was, like, the fad, you know, like, oh, this is the new whatever, and
this is the new
frosting. Every birthday cake you ate had that, and it's just not as good. And if it's
buttercream is better. And
if it's vaguely hot outside, it gets kind of melty because it's made with whipped cream.
Yes.
You know, like, I don't know. It was
buttercream icing is much better.
Delicious.
And you know, you talking about, like, you know, going back to our, like, things about fates. That was the favourite thing.
Fate, F-E-T-E.
Yes.
Not our fates.
F-E-T-E. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the summer fete that we'd have at school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I used to love those or the village fete because, you know, you go there and someone had done butterfly cakes.
Yeah, what does that mean?
And they're like fairy cakes or like a small angel cupcake with like a blob of buttercream icing on top.
Yeah.
And then two, like, part of, like, it's not part of the thing, but it was like two bits of sponge, you know, bits of the sponge in there, like, looking like butterfly wings. Oh, they were so good. I used to freaking go and eat them all the time. Were, you've had 3 of them now. I was like, no, I haven't.
Oh my god, I can imagine.
You have to pay for them. Oh, so only get 1 free. Because I was, they were just so good. Again, it was the buttercream icing. I was just like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah. I think you also mentioned Pass the Parcel?
Pass the Parcel, yeah.
You have to explain it. We've talked about that, I think, on one of our Christmas podcasts. That's just a party game,
really, you know. Yeah. Christmas and birthdays, you know. Usually what you do is, you know, like, it's kind of like musical chairs, except, you know, the kids all sit in a circle. Yeah. And there's music playing, and the parcel, it's a present. The parcel's wrapped in several layers of paper, usually a layer for each, how many kids are there. Mm-hmm. So you got 8 kids, you got 8 layers. So
are there different, like, little toys or prizes wrapped under each layer?
You can do that, but...
So somebody gets something?
Yeah, but every one that I ever attended, the ones that they did in school and stuff like that, they never had them. It would just be, you'd unwrap a layer, and it would be like, oh...
What? So there's only one person gets a present?
Only one person gets a present, and you've got to make sure it's not the birthday kid. And I remember I went to this one, and the birthday kid got it. And we were all like, that was a swizz. You know? That was an absolute fix. It's like, oh, she stopped the music just on the... She knew, and she stopped the music, his mother, you know? We were all like, yeah... And there was nothing in it, because I remember, you know, stopping me and wrap it, and it'd be like the next layer, and you're just like, oh, you're getting closer, you know, and that was the fun part, and it was just like everybody was watching it go round and stopping, and it's like, okay, that's the last layer now, that's the last layer, you know? Yeah. The kids would get so into it, you know?
God, that's so funny. You and I grew up in very different times, like that would not fly nowadays. There would have to be something in each layer for each child. Well, over here it's like, oh no, party,
yeah, you know? I mean you can't do that. You know, something in each layer. Yeah, I think they do that now in the interests of fairness, and everyone wins, and you know, yeah. But back in those days, in the early 90s,
it was screw the rest of you.
Cutthroat times.
Only one winner in this house.
And conspiracy theories abound.
Oh my gosh. Of course, in America, like, a popular party game is Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
Yeah, I think we did that, but again, that's like a fate. Yeah. You know, I don't remember doing that at a party.
When I looked it up...
At a birthday party.
When I looked it up, it said, it said that you didn't really, so I don't know, but...
Yeah,
maybe it's become more popular over time.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it sounds like a Victorian-type game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it sounds like something they used to do in Victorian times, and then it just fell out of favour, you know, but still remained popular over here.
Also in America, a very popular thing which comes from the Hispanic tradition is the piñata.
Piñata! And pretty much that's kind of like pass the parcel, except bash the parcel.
But everybody gets something.
Well, how does everyone get? Everyone gets a turn to swing the bat.
Everyone gets a turn to swing the bat. Only one person's probably going to bust it open. Sometimes somebody might bust part of it open.
The person who busts it open gets everything.
No, everybody. As soon as it's bust open, it's a frenzy to freaking run and grab everything. What about
the person who's busted open? Didn't they? You know, they might get knocked out of the way and not get anything.
They might, yeah. That's their problem. But they've got the bat,
Maybe there you go. You see.
They've got the bat, so, you know, everybody has to get out of the way.
I mean, the piñata, yeah, I mean, that was something, you know.
Oh, God, they've got new piñatas now that are just, like, because you can find these at anybody's birthday party nowadays, you know, especially, particularly if you live in, like, Texas or, you know, one of the kind of southern states that borders Mexico. It's just very popular in general. Sort of like the cascarones, you know. Yeah. It's a Hispanic tradition, but, you know, it's been adopted by everyone now. Anyway, they've got these new piñatas that are just ribbons because the bat is not safe. Mm. Because what you do, if you don't know the tradition of the piñata, is the person swinging the bat at the piñata is blindfolded.
Well, that's like Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
They spin them around so that they're disorientated, so they don't know, you know, where the piñata is to swing at. Because you only get, like, 3 swings, I think, and then it's the next person's turn. So if you don't hit it, you don't hit it, you know. And all the other kids standing around, they're like, whoa! Because they're swinging the bat at you sometimes, because they don't know where they are. So now they have this thing. I'm not sure how it works, because I have never seen one, like, I've never been to a party yet that has this type, but it's got a ribbon I think everybody gets a pull of the ribbon or something, and the ribbon, like, spins it around and unravels the piñata.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably better than whacking it, because, there's probably some kids who
like
to go crazy
and when you whack it, the way that the candy bursts out of it, if it's, like, if you have any kind of hard candy or suckers or whatever, they're flying everywhere, they're whacking you in the head and the face and everything.
Yeah,
so
it's just... I mean, they have that trouble with Pass the Parcel, too. Like, the music stops, a kid gets it and unwraps a bit, and then the music starts, and he doesn't want to he's waiting, he's like, okay, thank you very much. Wait for that, you can stop the music now so I can have two goes. Yeah. Or some kids trying to, like, really dig in and, pull
unwrap more than one layer.
Yeah. I remember those kids doing that all the time. Going, oh, he's ruining it.
Yeah, kids are brats, whether they're in the UK or the USA.
Yes. I mean, the dollars, that sounds dollars pinned to your shirt. What's that one? That sounds...
So I don't know how widespread a US tradition this is. It was in my high school is where I first saw
dollars.
And when I was looking it up, apparently it's mostly like a New Orleans thing. But then some other people in the comments were like, no, we have this in our, you can find it all across the South, which obviously we're in Texas. The person whose birthday it is leaves their house with, like, $1 pinned to their shirt. And that is just, like, a universal signal to everyone that today's my birthday. I can remember, like, at school sometimes they would write in marker down the front, like... whatever, my 15th
you got a little
birthday
rosette
or whatever.
Into you. They say, it's my birthday.
And then so people see it and they go, oh, and they pull a thing out and they give it to you to pin. And so then, all throughout the day, people are seeing that it's your birthday because you have the dollars pinned there and they give you $1 to pin or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And so by the end of the day, wow, I have however many.
$10.
Yeah.
Whatever, 15.
Yeah. So it's that kind of a thing. I remember it was quite exciting in school, it's just like, oh, how many dollars can I get,
Yeah, and it's a similar kind of thing with, like, I'd imagine that with something maybe in a quinceañera or a Sweet 16, you'd have a piñata and dollars pinned to the shirt and stuff.
Oh, the quinceañera.
The quinceañera, that's for boys and girls, right? It's just for girls?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I haven't been to so many of them. I've only been to a few, and the ones I went to were for girls. I think it's just for girls. It's more like a Sweet 16, which could be for boys or girls, but it's usually, again, for girls. I don't know why. I think there's some sort of association as to, like a coming out type of a thing. I think it's like an old-fashioned kind of thing like that. Like, she's come of age,
She's come of age into society.
So it's mostly for girls, yeah. The quinceañera is very much more so, like, she's coming into society now than, like, a Sweet 16 even, because they wear big dresses. It's a big, like, formal occasion, like, almost like a wedding. You have a party, I can't remember what they call them, but you pick a party of girls and guys that are going to stand up with you at your quinceañera, and they all have to wear the dresses, and the boys have to wear the suits, and it's a big deal.
Yeah, I can imagine,
whereas Sweet 16s are big, but they don't have to necessarily be that big, If you're wealthy, you might get a car for a Sweet 16
that's nice.
Birthday, yeah.
I never got one.
Did you ever have that show in Britain, My Super Sweet 16?
Oh, we have a lot of, like, reality kind of shows like that. Stuff.
Well, that
probably came over.
That is basically representing the typical Sweet 16 birthday, but on crack. Like, to the extreme,
Yes.
These parents are really, like, going all
out,
throwing a huge party, yeah. But that's basically what it is. It's like a coming of age kind of thing. You don't have, nothing like that exists in Britain?
I mean, in Britain it's kind of like 18, milestone birthdays are kind of like 18 and 21,
Yeah.
And I mean, you have a party, you go down the pub or you go out with your mates. And there's no real, like, it's not really like, oh, it's my coming out. Or
quinceañera, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, it's your Sweet 15. That's what it is.
Yes, because I remember seeing it. It's like, oh, is that like a prom thing? And you were like, oh no, it looks more like a quinceañera.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's for the 15th birthday, whereas the Sweet 16 is Sweet 16. So sometimes it's funny because if you're Hispanic, but also like maybe you have one Hispanic parent and one white parent, you know. So sometimes I knew kids who had a quinceañera and then a Sweet 16 also.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah, you're spoiled. Because they're both they're both big parties. You know?
Yes.
I didn't have any kind of Sweet 16. I don't know. It was just like, oh yeah, yay, she's 16 now.
Yay, she's 16. But yes, I mean, and you know, stuff like milestone birthdays, you know, like at parties and stuff. That's another thing that's kind of like in Britain has, like, you know, I used to do it when I was a kid, and then, you know, people found out later that adults do this too, and everyone does this. It's like, you know, someone gives you the present at the party and all that, you know, and you just go, okay, yeah, I'll put it over here for later.
Oh, yeah, that's so different.
Yeah, because over here it's just like, open it up right then and go, oh, wow,
well,
you know?
So in America, for any, like, British listeners that we have, in America, at a birthday party, it's like everybody's talking, everybody's chatting, da-da-da. You might have food. You'll have, you know, if you have a meal, you're going to have your meal. And then, okay, it's time for cake and ice cream, you know.
It was, yeah.
We play games and stuff, and then cake and ice cream. And then, okay, it's time to open presents. Usually that might be like the end of the party, you know.
No, I do not remember any kids opening their presents.
That's so weird.
We wouldn't even give them to the person, I remember. It would be, put them on that table. Oh, you know, we come in and go, okay, where are you putting the presents?
Yeah.
They're over here. Maybe sometimes it would be a case of like, okay, he's going to open his presents now and show you all what he's got.
That's like a wedding, kind of,
yeah.
Like at a wedding, you don't usually open the presents, do you?
But I remember just putting them on a table and then, you know, I knew what I got them, you know, but it was a case of like, I'd never see him opening it or, you know, her opening it, and
yeah,
you know, it would just be kind of like done behind closed doors, you know,
and
blind shut, you know,
yeah,
because it's an embarrassing thing, I guess, and it saves kind of like, they open it and they go, oh, great, a set of knives.
Oh, they didn't like
great,
it.
A toaster.
Or maybe,
you know?
or maybe if one kid couldn't afford to get,
and that's another thing as well. It's like they don't want it, and it's showing, you know, oh look, my kid's got all these presents, and your kid's poor, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, he spent his last bit of pocket money on that, you know.
Yeah. Like, maybe one kid got him a ball, but one kid got him a really fancy, expensive Lego set or something.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's nice, I think, but then
I don't know if that still goes on.
But then what? Do they send a thank you card at least afterwards?
Maybe. Maybe.
Because it's
depends on how they are.
Because I think the whole point
if it was my gran, yes.
Yeah.
I'd have to send thank you cards,
well, yeah,
you know, but
it's
like, but I don't remember ever getting, like, when I got gifts, you know, for you know, friends that are like...
You don't remember ever being sent
children.
a thank you card?
I don't remember ever. Maybe I was. Maybe they said thank you. Maybe. I don't know. You know.
I mean...
I can't remember.
I mean, because I think the point of opening the presents in front of the person who's got you the present is to acknowledge, you know, oh, I've opened it and thank you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll say, oh, thank you all for the gifts, and that's the thank you, you know?
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, that's sufficient, I suppose. You know, because... I kind of like that, actually, because it is awkward, isn't it? You're sitting there and you're opening presents and everybody's just staring at you.
When in Scotland, when I was moving back to England, and my last day in class, I remember I was sitting there, and the teacher comes to me and says, the class has got you a present for going away. And I was like, oh, thanks, you know. And I just put it to one side.
Yeah.
And I thought we were going to carry on with the lesson, but she stood there, and all the kids were looking at me, and I was like, what? And she goes, well, open it then. And I was like, okay. I was like, you really want to do this now? I was in Scotland, so it's a different set of rules up there too, you know?
Yeah.
Just open your present.
So maybe they open presents in front of each other up
oh,
there.
What's this you got me? Oh, lovely bottle of whiskey. Lovely bottle of Buckfast that I'll throw down the drain.
For your 8th birthday.
For my 8th birthday.
I remember, like...
late.
when you're a kid, though, over here anyway, and the person, you go to this birthday party and it's time for them to open presents, you're almost as excited for them to open their presents as they are. Like, you want to see what they got, They're opening their present, they're like, oh, I've got that. Yes. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I love that. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes. Or you're watching and you're like, open that big one. Open the big one next.
The big one.
They're all screaming, open the big one. They're all just as excited as you are.
Yeah. But, in like the USA and stuff like that, you'd probably be doing that kind of thing at a Chuck E. Cheese or a Gattyland.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Chuck E. I've never been to a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. I have once. I think I
It's
did
like
one.
A pizza place, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I think
it's like Gaddyland. Gaddyland is a Mr. Gaddy's
I seem
pizza.
to think they have a stage. I don't know.
It's a stage for the kids to get up and eat their pizza. And
for like Chucky to perform.
Oh,
or to be up there and like kind of dance around or something. Or maybe that was like an old-fashioned kind of thing. And now they're more like Gaddyland, whereas they have like a big movie screen in there and they're showing a movie. And it's just a bunch of tables and everybody's just like eating their pizza and watching the movie, I don't know. And of course there's like an arcade attached to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually.
Usually like a clown would perform it. I remember this clown at one of my friends' birthday parties and I was like, what?
Yeah.
It's just like, I'd never like experienced that before, really. Someone performing at the birthday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think clowns are kind of an old-fashioned thing that used to always be at birthday parties.
He'd be like, hello, kids. Or he was a magician, Yeah. You come in, you go, hello, kids. Whoa.
People hate clowns nowadays. Yeah. I see so many people.
Yeah, there's so many people have a phobia of them or whatever,
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, clowns were big. Magicians, yeah. Sometimes, like, I think it's popular now, like, Disney princesses. Like, you might have, or somebody that's, like, dressed up as Spider-Man or something like that, come around and, like, oh.
Hey, kids, and spray silly string all over them.
Take pictures with them and stuff. Yeah. Do you guys not have any, like, kid kind of places like that are popular for birthday parties?
Fun houses and stuff like that, They'd usually like the trampoline parks and stuff over here, they'd have them, but they'd be like indoor bouncy castle places.
Oh, yeah.
And, obstacle courses and the kids could just run and jump and, and climb stuff and,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember going to those. The Fun Factory in Torquay was one. I think that closed, though.
Oh,
it was just like a big building where it just had all these crash pads and trampolines and colourful, like, stuff. I used to love going there. Ball pits.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
There was another place, like, as we got older, as we started becoming teenagers, a place everybody wanted to go to here. Oh, what was it called? I want to say Celebration Station. I don't know if I'm making that up.
Like the Fun Factory Celebration.
They have like go-karts and bumper boats and like mini golf and stuff like that. It's a place like that. But again, like Chuck E. Cheese or Gaddyland, they've got the big tables for pizza and there's balloons everywhere. Yeah, there's a lot of places like that, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it. So that's sort of similar to... I mean, it's similar over here and over there, I guess.
Very similar.
Same thing with at school, I guess? Like when you're a kid.
Oh, taking things into school, like candy and...
Or cupcakes or anything like that.
Yeah. I vaguely remember taking sweets in for everyone.
I think that always depended on the teacher, really.
Yeah, because some teachers wouldn't allow it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be like, oh, no, don't take that.
No, you're not bringing sugar in here.
Don't bring sugar in here.
And I think nowadays, like...
Or just give it to me and I'll dole it out. And it's like it never got doled out, you know?
I don't really remember.
But kids would remember. They come and go, when are you going to give us the cupcakes? Or, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't remember those. Get back to your seat.
I don't really remember, actually, celebrating kids' birthdays in school. Like, when I was in elementary school. I don't remember that at all, actually.
Vaguely
It could just be because I'm, it's been too long ago. But I just don't. I remember kids going like, oh, it's my birthday, but I don't remember having something for them. I don't know. And it seems like nowadays, there is a lot more concern for, like, allergies.
Yes.
Too. So like, he's gluten-free, so you can't bring that. Yeah. Or, those have, that has peanut butter on it, and, we have a nut allergy in this classroom, and blah, blah, blah. So it's like a lot of restrictions on the stuff you can bring in. And also, teachers just plain old don't want the kids to have sugar and, like, be hyper for the rest of the school day. Yeah. It's like, okay, yeah, your mom can bring in candy or whatever, and you can have it, like, on your way out the door.
Yes. On your way out the door, get as much of that stuff inside you as you need, Yeah.
And sort of it's the same with work now.
People, bringing cupcakes and biscuits or whatever.
Donuts, maybe. Like, oh, it's my birthday, so here's some donuts. Or a
cake. Sometimes they bring a cake in, I guess. Yeah. It's a piece of cake.
Depends on the size of your office,
yes,
probably.
It does, yeah.
Like, if there's only 3 of you, then maybe not,
I bring a small little cake that you just divide up. Have a little nibble.
I'd rather just have the day off than, like, let's have a cake at the office. Like, just give me the day off,
I suppose so.
Anyway, let us know if you can think of any more, like, country-specific traditions that...
I'm going to say countryfied.
Countryfied traditions.
Countryfied traditions of birthdays.
No, like, anything that you can think that might be different that we do over here, and they probably don't do in the UK, or vice versa, because this is what we could come up with.
This is what you could come up with.
But there's possibly... many more traditions, and probably they differ family to family,
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, not everybody does exactly the same. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of people who have never been to Chuck E. Cheese, never had a piñata, never had birthday spankings, like...
Yeah, so tell us if you've never done that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. Maybe you don't celebrate your birthday. Maybe you never have.
Maybe you don't even know what age you are right now. What age am I right now? How old am I?
Oh my God. All right. Thank you guys so much, as always, for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. A special thank you, as always, to our patrons. Be sure to check us out on social media. If you don't already, we are at TButty, TEABUTTY, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.